Steve here with the 𝗟𝗓𝗧𝗦, the channel where we help cleaning business owners scale their businesses with systems, controls, tools, and resources. Are you creating systems and controls, also known as standard operating procedures? Well, there's a number of reasons why you should be doing that. And probably the number one reason is that you want to build a business and not a job. That's really the difference when you start looking at that, is that a lot of cleaning companies don't have systems and controls in place, and essentially they're just winging it and essentially just have a job because they're still working hard day to day. They're out in the field rather than actually developing systems and controls and having a team that can help them implement these things to build a business. Now, the other reason is that it makes it a lot easier to scale your business. So once you have the systems and controls in place, again, and you have a team of people, well, it really helps you scale your business because you have all these things documented. And that's where it leads me to, well, you got to get these things out of your head. That's another reason why. Often business owners will have all these systems, these procedures, they're in their head. They haven't taken the time to go ahead and put them down on paper, in a Word document or a Google Doc or whatever it may be. But you got to get it out of your head and get it on paper. And then the best thing to do is to store that somewhere on your computer. And that's the whole thing about building systems and controls, is that you actually are doing this and you're creating a place on your computer to store all these systems and controls. And you are going to end up with hundreds of them. It's a fact. We've been doing this for quite a long time, and we know of companies that have used our system to build their systems and controls, and it takes a while for you to do this. In fact, when we first created our standard operating procedures, we did that for the 𝗓𝗓s program, for people to become certified for 𝗓𝗓s, which is still available. But their program saved people over $20,000 just in cost because of the time that it would take them to develop their standard operating procedures. I was talking to cleaning business owners, some large companies that would have teams of people that were working on this, and it would take them 14 months to get this done, and hundreds and hundreds of man hours to get it done. So that's why we created the standard operating procedures for janitorial companies for the 𝗓𝗓s certification, and it's just made a world of difference for people. But that's really the reason why you got to do these. You have to build these systems and controls. Is because if we get it out of our head, get it on paper, we're able to operate an actual business, and it makes it so much easier when we're doing transitions from personnel also. But now the thing that you got to keep in mind is that the systems and controls that you're going to develop are all based on the 5 core pillars of business. So those 5 core pillars are sales and marketing, operations, HR and team, then you have finance, and then you have leadership. So in each one of those core pillars, you're going to have hundreds of documents. For example, for HR and team, well, that's for HR and your employees. So you may have employees, you may have subcontractors, but they're part of the team. So in that folder, you're going to have your hiring system for how to hire an employee. And you also, if you're using subcontractors, you'll have that system for hiring subcontractors too. How you're going to hire them, onboard them. So the entire step-by-step process will be outlined there in that system for you, underneath that pillar of HR and team. So you can kind of get an idea of just how much work this is. It's quite an undertaking, but it has to be done. One thing that can help you is that the use of a template. We've actually got a template, and this template it's on a Word document, and the template actually has a layout of where you list the purpose of the purpose of the SOP, then the objective, and then you also want to give a reason, or identify who's responsible or who's accountable for this SOP or this system that you created. And another thing that on this template, it suggests that what you do is that you create a PDF, a Word document, and you actually document this process and save it. And also it suggests that you do a screenshot of that procedure, and then you also create an audio file of that procedure. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this. To create an audio file, that's just a matter of recording. And if you have your documented process, in a Word doc or a PDF or whatever it is, all you have to do is just read that, record yourself reading that. There's your audio. Now, the other thing we have to do too is that we have to take that a step further, and hopefully we can create a video of how that procedure is done. If you can do that, that's fantastic. Now, the reason you're doing this is because by using a template where we're using, we have a document, and we got an audio, and we got a video. Now we've covered all of the areas in which people like to learn. Either some people like to read, some people like to just listen to an audio, some people like to watch a video. So that's the reason why we would create this for each system that we create. Now, I suggest that just start off with that Word document, so you got it down on paper. Start there, then go to your audio, then your video. You might even find out too that in some of your processes, finance or sales or marketing or whatever it is, that you can actually just record a video on your computer showing that process. So, for example, let's say you got finance and you're talking about your P&L, how you're creating your P&L, and what it all means. Well, you can actually just record that while you're on your computer with that P&L statement up there on the screen. So that's an easy way to do it. But just keep this in mind, because you want to have you gotta have the document, you gotta have your audio, and you gotta have your video. And if you do that for all of your systems, you've got all your bases covered. Because now what happens is that when we build our team and we hire somebody to, let's say, admin for the front office, well, then they would be able to go into our folder of HR and team or operations and be able to get the documents and the processes that they need in order to accomplish a task. Sure, you're going to train these people on how to do these things initially, but maybe they're going to forget a step, or that something just isn't clear to them. Well, now they can go into their system and actually review that system, either on the document, the audio, or the video. And one thing I want to add is that when you do create this system, give it a name. I always suggest to my coaching clients that just name it your UBS, and Ultimate Business System. You create a folder on your computer as the UBS, and then within that folder you're going to have these 5 core pillars of business. Those are going to be 5 additional folders. Then within those folders you're actually going to have all of your systems that you created, all your documents, your videos, your audios, and it's all going to be done in an arranged manner. But you do that because you want to be able to find that system or that SOP easily. So when you go to somebody and you say that, well, have you checked your UBS, for that operations step? They know exactly what you're talking about. So now they're able to go to the UBS folder, go into operations, and then from there it's broken down in a numerical order as far as the files, and they'll be able to find what they need. So, but anyway, that's why it's so important for us to create our systems and controls, or what people call standard operating procedures. Very, very important. It really makes a difference with your business. And here's the one thing that's really great is that if you get ready to sell your business and you've got folders full of standard operating procedures or systems and controls, boy, the price of your company just went up. The easier it is for the new buyer to take over this company and let this company run on its own to where it's not owner reliant, now you have something. And that's probably the biggest reason why we create systems and controls, is because we want a business that can run on systems and not be reliant on the business owner. That's really the key. So now something that you can do is if you're looking for some standard operating procedures, you can go over to the 𝗟𝗘𝗢𝗎𝗓.com and we have the standard operating procedures for the janitorial companies that I talked about earlier. And if you're a premium member, go to the download library. You get to download all those documents for free. And there's hundreds and hundreds of documents there for that SOP. You'll be able to go in there, you can edit them and you know, create them and make them your own. But that'll save you a lot of man hours, I'll tell you that. And if you're not a member of the Janitorial Store, you can still purchase that standard SOP, the standard operating procedures for the janitorial companies. Just go to the Janitorial Store. But well, hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, feel free to comment and share. And if you have not already, make sure that you subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates on new videos for building a successful cleaning business. So thanks for checking in today, and we'll see you next time.